Hey, it's your boy Easy, and on today's episode of Easy Opens, we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Kamen Rider ZO figure. So I know it reads ZO, but it's actually pronounced Geo with a J. I've heard and said it both ways, so I'm going to try my best to stick with Geo, but we'll see. Kamen Rider Geo is the 33rd Kamen Rider and the titular character for this show. This show ran from 2018 to 2019 and is a series that commemorates all of the Heisei era riders up to that point, because I believe during its run they changed eras in Japan. So yeah, more or less it's essentially like a 10-year anniversary series, very much like Kamen Rider Decade. It's a series about time travel and just time in general, and it deals with all the paradoxes and problems that arise from those types of stories. So the box is really cool. SH Figuarts always has nice boxes, but we're not here to talk about that. Let's get this figure free from its plastic prison and see what we think about Kamen Rider Geo. So this looks freaking amazing. Like, it looks just so good. It's so simple and elegant. I love the suit. I love it so much because I don't know if you've caught on yet, but the motif is a wristwatch. Like the band, the wristwatch has, like that wraps around your wrist. It's running up his entire torso and then a little bit of his head in the back. That's fantastic. Like, I absolutely love this motif and how they've executed it here. It's so good. And with the helmet being the face of the clock, I am like, I've loved this suit, since the show came out, and I still love it to this day. It's so gaudy and cheesy and just beautiful at the same time. I love it so much. And then also you have the rider belt that's a digital clock. Such a freaking cool design. Like, I can't gush enough about it. It's so good and so simple, and I love it. It feels great. The figure is very smooth and just very matte, and it just feels solid, and it's a great feeling figure. The sculpt looks fantastic. I will say, though, that there is a ton of detail here, and probably even stuff that I'm missing, but there's also a lot of blank space, like just black negative space, I guess you could say. And that's by design because it's supposed to be sleek and stuff, but it's also to where, the other upgrades and everything can kind of attach and do their thing. It's show accurate from what I can tell, and it's very simple but very elegant, and I just love it so much because it's so like it's a wristwatch. Like, it's so good. The helmet, the horns on the head, like the antenna, for lack of actually being bug themed, are the hands of the clock. That is so genius. Oh my goodness. And then the color scheme. I really dig the color scheme. Yes, it's a lot of black with the accent of purple and, is that magenta? Maybe. And then the silver and the white face. Oh my goodness. Now, this is the first release of this figure, so this version came with only 2 right hands and 3 left hands. All right, now let's take a look at the articulation you're going to get out of SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Geo. So, starting at the head, you have 360 at the neck. It does get a little impeded. It can't really turn all the way for some reason. I don't know what's stopping it. I think the actual neck part inside, like where it connects to the chest, is what's keeping it from going, and I don't really want to press that too much. Oh, okay, maybe I do. Okay, so yeah, so you got 360 at the neck, and then yeah, it's just, mine is sticking a little bit, so just be wary of that. But it is you can do it, so it is there. Then moving to the arms, the shoulders, this little armor piece is attached to the shoulder. I don't know if you could see that at all, but yeah, so that's good, which means you've got 360 at the shoulder. You also got up and down at the shoulder as well, but always be careful with those, because I had some bad luck with those, and it put me in a bad spot on some of my figure arts. But we got a swivel at the bicep, which is always nice, and you've got double jointed elbows at the elbow. And then moving on down to the wrist, you've got 360 at the wrist, as well as some hinged movement there too. So some back and forth motion there at the wrist. And that's always good. At the chest, you got a decent back and forth, or not back and forth, side to side motion. I guess you get back and forth too. I forgot to do that on my Aguilera review. But yeah, you got some decent back and forth in the chest, as well as side to side. You get 360 at the waist, and that's always wonderful because you know how much they do that in the show. And then also the rider belt can twist, which is, you know, it's supposed to, and that's what it does on the show. And yeah, there's that. Did I put it right? I can't see. I don't think so. I think it goes this way. I don't know. It looks like the time is changing each time I do that. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that for right now. Yeah, no, that's right. And so then at the legs can drop down a little bit, and so they do have that style of leg for Figuarts, which, if I'm not mistaken, they had them for a while. They moved away, and then they brought them back. They got thigh swivel at the thigh, where that's supposed to be. They got double jointed knees. They've got an ankle rocker with 360 at the ankle as well, on top of a toe joint. So there you go, and I do believe that is all the articulation you're going to get out of SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Geo. So according to the KamenRider.fandom.com site, Kamen Rider Geo stands at 6'6" and weighs 203 pounds. This figure is just over 6 inches with the clock hands and just over 2 ounces. So now let's see how he compares to some other figures you might have in your collection. All right, here they are with NECA's knockoff colored bandana Mirage Comics Michelangelo and NECA's Alf. Here they are with Jada Toys Mega Man and Jada Toys Dalsim. Here they are with Hasbro's Power Rangers Lightning Collection Tyranno Red Ranger and the Loyal Subjects Rocketeer. Here they are with Figma's Samus and Mattel's Masterverse Hordak. Here they are with McFarlane's Batman 66, Lord Deathman, and NECA's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mirage Comics Series Renee. Here they are with Hasbro's Marvel Legends Wolverine and Hasbro's G.I. Joe Classified Storm Shadow. And here they are with SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Gets. I'm a big fan of the anniversary rider shows like Decade and Geo. Just something about revisiting all the previous riders is just a treat. And it's, you know, a lot of fan service, and it's just a lot of fun just to revisit these characters and see them doing different things and whatnot. Even if they don't necessarily do them justice, it's just nice. But aside from that, I really enjoyed Geo on its own as well. Like, just because there's enough there that still, it's got its own through line of continuity, but, you know, the other anniversary guest spots and cameos and appearances and all that aside, yeah, I still enjoyed the show on its own. I thought the drama was well done, and the suits, oh my god, they're watches, y'all. If you hadn't got that, if I haven't said that enough, they're watches, and it's amazing. But having said that, I do kind of have a little bit of PTSD from back when I did wear watches like this, and I'd get my skin pinched in that band, and it'd be like really painful because you want to get it off you, but you can't move your wrist, and it just makes it worse. Yeah, it was, you know, some bad times, but I could only imagine how bad it would hurt if this band gets you, because I think it goes all the way down. So, yeah. But this figure looks fantastic, and it's an excellent representation of what we saw on the screen. And again, his motif is a wristwatch, and the belt is a digital clock. That's just, oh, it's just so good. Based on the coolness of that alone, the rest of the figure doesn't need much else, or else, you know, you kind of risk ruining the elegance of the suit design. However, the only thing I don't like is the gimmick watches on the wrists. They're like bulky, and I don't know, maybe if it was just like one of them on each arm, that might be better for me. But like, yeah, I don't know. There's just something about them I'm not the biggest fan of. They don't look bad, and they look kind of balanced in certain lights, but yeah, they're kind of a little much. Again, this is the first release, so all you get are some hands. Now, they're good hands, though. That's a good thing. I mean, especially since One is a pointing hand, albeit a finger gun style one, but still a pointer, which that's a big thing in my book. But the clock hand weapons would have been nice. But besides that, he's a ton of fun to pose because I have no problems moving him around because of the suit design. There's no real big hindrances to his articulation like there are on a lot of other Kamen Rider figures. So that's a real big plus in my book, which usually means that I don't like to mess with them as much because I don't want to break them, but I don't have that issue here, and that's fantastic. And then again, with most Kamen Rider figures, he goes well with all the other Kamen Rider figures, especially the more modern ones. He goes well with monsters that you might have for Marvel Legends. Overall, I love this figure and the suit. The color design, everything just works so well. It pops, it looks great on the shelf, and it plays really well. I absolutely love the motif. Yeah, if you love SH Figuarts Kamen Rider figures, then you will definitely not be disappointed here with Geo. If you have a time-traveling figure shelf, then Geo will fit right in. Or if you just love a silly gimmick on paper that manages to look really cool in execution, then you're definitely gonna dig Kamen Rider Geo. All right, well, that's going to do it for me today. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, hit the like button. If you want to see more from me, hit subscribe and let me know in the comments, what did you think about Kamen Rider Geo's costume? Do you say Zeo or Geo? Do you like the watch motif, and do you think they could have done anything else with this figure's suit design to incorporate more of that? Let me know in the comments, and until then, else time.